Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to episode 6 of Revell's Colonial Viper Mark II. Okay folks, this is now rock solid. It was actually rock solid within a day, but I've been busy with other bits and pieces. You can see I mixed some paint up here and it splashed a bit, but that's irrelevant because we're going to be completely covering it up. So the next stage is we are going to lay some paint down on here, and it's just some cheap Hobbycraft ready mixed acrylic paint, and we're just going to paint the whole base effectively just to seal in this filler and stop it from soaking in the PVA for the next stage. So off camera I'm going to get this all painted up. It's only going to be rough, it's not going to be right up to the rocks or anything like that. It's literally just to cover the majority with effectively a sealer. So I shall be back shortly. Okay folks, that is a layer of the brown paint down. It's pretty much there just to get rid of the white and give us something to stop the polyfiller from soaking up PVA. So the next step, we are going to lay some of these around in the rocks and in some random places in the waterbed and stuff. And all as we are going to be doing is using a little bit of watered down PVA. I haven't got much left here, so I'll have to mix some more. There's nothing overly complicated with this. We are going to grab the stones and we are just going to drop them around and move them about in amongst the rocks like so. And that is pretty much it. So we get the rocks down, get them where we want them. I will need to lift those that have gone in there, and then all we get a pipe out. I'm going to get these out of here first because otherwise they will interfere with how we lay down the wing in there. So we'll do this bit here, and then all we do is get a little bit of PVA into a pipette, and we just start to drown this stuff with PVA. It will eventually soak through, soak into the stones. There it goes. This is exactly the same process we did when we did the Y-wing. Get some stones in there. PVA down there, drop some stones in, because what we'll do is when this lot is dry, or dried, we will tip it up and get rid of the stones that are loose. So we will be going through quite a lot of PVA. It's a long-winded process, but it does work. So I'm going to carry on, get all of this area done with this stuff, let it dry off, and we will be back. Okay folks, so we have got all the gravel down where we want it, and I've also gone and sprinkled quite lightly some of the finer buff. So I'm going to zoom you in a bit so you can see. You can't really see very clearly from there. So what we've done, gone around, we've wet the area we're going to go on, like this, but I haven't put any on here. And then we just sprinkle these stones on by hand. Just grab some in your fingers, sprinkle it on, and move it around till you get it to where you want it to be. So you can see we've dropped it inside, in between all the gaps in the stones. Some of these obviously need moving off. It's still soaking wet, nothing is set yet, so we can still move bits and pieces about. And in the actual bed where we're going to be putting the water, I've added a few more stones down here and a little bit more of the sand in here, and then give it a little bit of a mix up, and then gone and put a few more of the stones over the top. So we can get a Revell. Obviously this is going to have clear water over it, slightly muddy clear water, so we're not going to see a huge amount of this. I'm thinking of adding some long moss in this, using, somebody posted in the model officer's mess last week and I can't remember who it was, and I can't see where the stuff is either. Where did I put it? Yeah, found it. So somebody in the model officer's mess said this stuff was going cheap at Tesco, and go a little bit off. If we unravel this and break it apart, it actually becomes very good grass. So I'm thinking of cutting some of this off and adding it to the stonework here and pushing and making it stay under the water as though it's long seaweed type stuff. We'll see how we get on once we start adding some of the clear water. So this is going to be a couple of days dry now because it is soaking wet with PVA. So we'll let this dry and we'll talk to you shortly. Okay folks, after an age of this drying, it's been drying for like 4 or 5 days now, and it is now all rock solid. So the next stage is we are going to put some sand in all this section here, just on the bits of brown that are left. So here, here and in here, because there's still bits coming off this, so this is what we are hoping to fill in with water, and we're going to have our man somewhere around here now where it's deepest. So we are using this fine buff, and all we're going to do, we're going to put it down exactly the same way as we put the stones down. We are going to use some watered down PVA. We're just going to brush the area that we want, and we're just going to sprinkle this on. So we shall do a small part to show you what I mean. So I'll get an old tatty brush like so, dip it in, and we shall do this area up here. So we're just going to paint where we want the sand to be, like so. We're going to go right up to the edge, nice and wet, and then we are quite literally just going to grab this and sprinkle it on, as simple as that. And we're going to put plenty on, and then once it's dry we shall tip it up and get all the loose off. I'm not going to spread it around my finger or anything like that, because we'll just smudge it and make a mess of it. So we are. And that is all we are going to do. So I'm going to finish off all these bits and we'll be back very soon. Okay folks, so forgot to start recording again. We finished the sand in here, so now it's all broken up with the larger ballast and the sand around the edges, and now we are going around with some watered down soil effects, and I'm going very rough. I'm going over parts of the rocks and we're just blending everything in together and giving us a soil effect, because we are going to be covering some of this with the static grass. So I'm not going to be covering any of this part with any mud, because we are going to be using some of the Vallejo still water, which is going to have a little bit of colour added to it to darken it up a little bit and make it a little less clear. So all we are doing is going around and throwing big dollops of this mud about the place and blending it all in. I'm going to need to let this dry because I've watered this down. I don't know what it's going to dry like, so we are starting to look like a bit of ground now. So this is now going to need to be left to dry. Oh, I forgot this part in here. There we go. Scoop some of that out. So, was that my big head in the way again then? So, there we go. Job. Oh, I think we'll put a bit there. Like so. Over here. So we're just saying, think you're finished, and then, oh yeah, I'll just do that bit. And, oh yeah, I'll just do that bit. So folks, that is all the mud done. Next, we shall get some of the 1mm static grass down. Now we're going to be wanting some of that in the shallower water here. I was thinking of doing some longer reeds with this stuff up and around here. Just, you know, if you see some rivers, they have like reeds that run under the water and you can see them. So I was thinking of doing some of this around some of this rock work here and maybe here, as though the water's flowing in this direction. So we'll see when we get there, because it always changes. So I'll let this dry and we'll be back in a moment. Okay folks, that is the mud now dry. So we have put ourselves into a big box, because next we are going to be adding some grass. So we've got our puffer and we've got our is this the one? The 2mm static grass here, and we're going to be placing this around here. I'm going to be putting a little bit in here because this is going to be really shallow here, and we're going to try and represent this as quite deep here, because our man, who is still to be painted but his arms are on now, just needs sanding down and cleaning up, is going to be sitting somewhere in here, like so. Obviously we're going to have all the rushes and the reeds and everything in here as well, all around here, and we're going to do some shorter ones around these rocks as well. So I'm going to go get everything ready and we'll be back in a moment. Okay folks, so our static grass puffer bottle is full. It's just sitting there. We've got our PVA and a brush, and we don't want too much grass down here, so we are literally just going to dab random spots, get some wet glue down, and then we are going to puff away with the puffer, and see what sort of effect. I'm only going to do up to here for now, so we can see what we actually get. So our puffer is full. Give it a quick shake up, and then we will puff down. It'll look pretty thick to start off with. So there we go. Now we will tip this up. Get all that extra grass off, give it a blow, and see what we've got. So that is looking pretty good actually, so I'm happy with that. So we are going to go around and finish off this section here, and that is us done with that section. So again, very light dabs. We don't want complete coverage. Just like so. Have it a bit thicker around. The rocks and stuff. There we go, let's get the puffer bottle back out. And our lid's just fallen off. Awesome! Shouldn't really matter because we will just knock that off when we come to it. So, let's again flip it up. Give it a tap, get all that extra grass off, get it out of the way, give it a blow, and there we have it. That is our grass done for where we are going to have our wet water. Now, where's my big brush? Okay. None of this should be stuck down here, so we need to get that off as well. All out of there. So there we go, that's our first part of the grass down, and all this is going to be covered with still water, muddy still water. So next, we don't want anything here, so we're going to build up some grass all around. Let's pull that down a bit. All around up here, in amongst these rocks and here. So I'm going to go get that done, and this will be pretty much solid around this bit, and then splotchy like this in amongst the rocks here. So there's no need for you to see that because it's exactly the same process as this, and then we'll come back and we'll decide how we're going to lay out the grass in the middle. So back in a moment. Okay folks, so there's the grass up the back. I still need to add a few little bits inside the rock there, but I shall do that later. So now we want to position our ship, and the canopy's come off, so I'll have to glue that back in at some point. So we are it in just there like so. So we want to leave around the ship with no grass, like the ground's been disturbed. And the same for when the wing is in here and the gun there. So we're going to build up grass all around this area. We're going to leave this bit blank as well. So we have a few blank patches here and there. So again, it's the same again, except we're not being gentle with this. We're just literally spreading it on where we want it. do us. So, still got a little bit left in here, but not a huge amount. And it's fallen off again. Not done that for quite a while. Right, this needs to be topped back up, so I'm going to do that quickly. I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back, so carry on. It's probably me just being a bit too vigorous, shall we say. There we go. So, there'll be lots of extra on here. Awful noisy. So, there we go. That is our grass. First layer of grass, the 2mm stuff done. So we'll put the Viper back in. Take a look, see how it looks. So, yeah, it's looking okay. Next, we're going to go from the 2mm up to the 4mm, and we're going to be going around the edges of the rocks and other bits and pieces and patches and stuff, and build it up. So it's a little bit of depth to it. And again, I'm not going to show you that. It's exactly the same process. Use the puffer, PVA. The only difference is the length of the grass. So I will get that done and we will be back very shortly. Okay folks, that is the thicker grass down, and you can see there's a shade colour change all around here and amongst these rocks around the back here, and some around the edge of where the water line is going to be. So next stage, give this 24 hours to dry off properly, just so that nothing moves when we come to start adding the next section, which is going to be, we're going to have to get the figure painted up. His second arm is on now. It needs a little bit of sanding down and clearing up, and his head gluing in place. So we'll do that off camera. There's no need for me to show you my abysmal figure painting. And then we are going to, obviously we're going to get him stuck in here, and then we're going to start applying some of the still water effects. Now this is going to need to go down in several layers, so we'll be doing the deepest section first here. We'll add a little bit of colour into this. It's probably going to add some of the ultimate washes to this, some of the greens and the browns, and we'll lay it down in probably 4 or 5 layers. We'll get a deep layer first around this section, wait for it to dry, and the next section, and we'll get lighter and lighter with how much we colour it till we get to the top section, which will be clear, and which will go over all of this part here to make this look like it's waterlogged and swampy. Then we are on to getting the reeds in place, which is of course this stuff that I can't keep hold of, these stuff by Bush. So I'm quite looking forward to using this. It should be quite interesting, and we're going to be laying this in all around here thick, because our man's going to be hiding inside them, and some up here, and we'll probably shorten some off and put some tufts dotted around the place as well. So that is the next section. Now I've absolutely no idea, as normal, how long this video has gone on for, so this is a good place to stop, no matter how long it is. So there we go, we are starting to make a little bit of progress with the diorama. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Be good, be safe, and of course keep making models, and we will catch you next time. Ta-ta.